There is a diagnostic tool sitting in your living room right now. It is your chair.
More powerful than a stethoscope and more predictive than a blood pressure cuff.
That sturdy kitchen chair is a window into your vascular future.
There is a simple physical challenge known as the 10-second chair test.
Can you stand up and sit back down 5 times in less than 10 seconds?
If you can do this, your vascular system are functioning at a level that protects you.
But if you fail this test, it is a screaming red siren,
alerting you that your body has entered a state of fragility, vulnerable to a massive stroke.
We ignored the engine that powers the entire system, the skeletal muscle.
In this comprehensive video, we will provide the leg resurrection protocol.
Part 1. The mechanics of the test.
It seems like a simple movement, but biologically it is one of the most demanding tasks.
It requires a massive coordinated effort, brain, heart, and muscle, to generate explosive power to lift your entire body weight against the pull of the earth.
You sit in a sturdy chair, roughly 17 inches high, placed against a wall.
You cross your arms over your chest, and you cannot use your arms for leverage. Rise to a full standing position, and then sit back down fully.
The benchmark is to complete these 5 repetitions in 10 seconds or less.
Failing the test indicates a condition called sarcopenia, loss of muscle mass.
But muscle is more than just meat. Part 2. The muscle as an organ.
Part 2. The muscle as an organ.
We now know that skeletal muscle is an endocrine organ. It is a gland.
They squeeze out chemical messengers called myokines.
One specific myokine, called irisin, stimulates the production of new brain cells.
IL-6 acts as an anti-inflammatory agent, telling your immune system to calm down.
When you have strong legs, you are constantly dosing yourself with a chemical shield. But when you fail, it is a metabolic disaster. Plaque begins to accumulate.
There is another metabolic reason. It involves sugar. Part 3.
Part 3. The glucose reservoir. High glucose levels act like shards of glass, scratching the inner lining. Your skeletal muscle is the largest reservoir. 80% of sugar is soaked up by muscles.
Your quadriceps contains special doorways called GLUT4.
If you have strong thighs, you have a massive storage tank.
But if you fail, your storage tank has shrunk to the size of a thimble.
The sugar stays in your bloodstream, rotting your blood vessels from the inside out.
This is why frailty and diabetes often go hand in hand.
By rebuilding the muscle, You are literally building a larger tank for blood sugar.
You are pulling the poison out of your blood and putting it to work.
Physiologically, you have a second heart. Part 4.
Part 4. The second heart.
Physiologically, you have a second heart. It is called the skeletal muscle pump.
Getting that blood back up to your heart requires a fight against gravity. If you fail the chair test, the pump is broken. This leads to a condition called venous stasis. Stagnant blood is dangerous blood. When blood stops moving, it starts to clot. Deep vein thrombosis, or DVT.
If that clot breaks loose, it can cause a pulmonary embolism.
But for people with a common heart defect, that clot can pass through, causing a massive stroke.
This leads to chronic low blood flow, known as hypoperfusion. Your brain lives in a state of suffocation. The test is not just muscle, it is a test of the brain itself. Part 5.
Part 5. The neurological connection.
To perform the movement rapidly, your brain has to send a high-velocity electrical signal. This is neural drive.
As we age, the wiring can begin to fray, specifically the white matter tracts.
Creating potholes on the information highway. The signal gets slowed down.
You might feel like you want to stand up fast, but your body feels heavy.
This condition, called leukoarteriosis, is a strong predictor of a future major stroke.
So the chair test is acting like a stress test for your brain wiring.
When muscle withers away, it is often replaced by fat. Part 6.
Part 6. The inflammation of fat.
This is a condition called sarcopenic obesity. You might look thin, but your muscles are marbled. Fat cells are biologically active. They act like parasites. They pump out pro-inflammatory cytokines.
These cytokines attack the lining of your arteries, leading to plaque buildup.
The muscle that used to protect you is now replaced by fat that attacks you.
We cannot discuss stroke risk without discussing the trauma of falling. Part 7.
Part 7. The stability factor.
If you fall and hit your head, it can cause a tearing of the bridging veins.
This slow bleed is called a subdural hematoma.
In seniors, the brain shrinks slightly, making these veins more vulnerable to tearing.
The trauma of a fall triggers a massive clotting response, giving rise to clots that can travel to the brain.
Strong legs are your anchors. They keep you upright.
If you wobble or fall back into the chair, your stability systems are failing.
Let us go deeper into the cell. Part 8. The cellular energy.
Part 8. The cellular energy. Dictus mitochondria.
Inside every muscle cell are tiny power plants called mitochondria.
When you stand up, you are forcing your mitochondria to work.
If you are sedentary, your mitochondria die off. The ones that remain become inefficient, creating oxidative stress. Seniors who fail the chair test, their entire body is running on a low battery.
By retraining your body, you are stimulating biogenesis, building new power plants.
If you tried the test and failed, do not despair. The human body is miraculous.
Here is the protocol to take you from failing to passing safely.
We start with phase 1, the negative.
If you cannot stand up without using your hands, do not force the up motion.
Focus on the down motion. Stand in front of your chair, hold onto a walker. Slowly lower yourself. Fight gravity. Count to 4.
This is called an eccentric contraction.
Eccentric contractions build strength faster than concentric upward contractions.
And they are safer for your joints. Do 3 sets of 5 slow descents every day. Use your arms to help you stand back up. This rebuilds the neural connection without requiring explosive power.
Once you can control the descent, we move to phase 2.
Phase 2, the elevation. It is harder to stand up from a low chair than a high one.
Place a firm cushion, raising the height by 3 or 4 inches.
Try to stand up from this new height without using your hands.
By changing the angle of your hips, you make the mechanical leverage easier.
Practice this. Do 3 sets of 5 repetitions.
As you get stronger, remove 1 cushion. Lower the height.
This progressive difficulty trains your brain to handle the load gradually. Finally, we move to phase 3.
Phase 3, the power.
Remember, the test requires speed. 5 reps in 10 seconds.
Power is defined as force divided by time.
To train for power, you need to stand up explosively.
Lean forward slightly and pop up as fast as you safely can. Then sit down slowly.
Do 10 repetitions of this power pulse every morning.
This trains the fast twitch muscle fibers. These are the fibers that decline most rapidly with age.
And they are the fibers responsible for catching you if you trip.
You cannot build this muscle out of thin air. You need raw materials. Part 12.
Part 12, the fuel for growth.
Seniors suffer from anabolic resistance. Your body resists building muscle.
To overcome this, you need a protein called leucine.
Leucine acts as the ignition switch for muscle growth.
It is found in eggs, Greek yogurt, fish, and chicken.
You should aim to consume 25 to 30 grams of protein at each meal.
Most seniors eat a toast and confit breakfast. This keeps you in a muscle-wasting state.
And do not forget vitamin D, directly linked to muscle weakness.
Conclusion: the chair of truth.
Failing the test is a wake-up call, but it is not a death sentence.
It is an invitation to act.
You are flushing your body with myokines, clearing sugar, strengthening the pump.
You are taking your destiny out of the hands of luck and placing it in your own legs.
You have lived a long life of resilience. Use that resilience now.
Do not accept weakness as normal. It is common, but it is not normal.
Because when you stand up strong, you stand up against the stroke.
Now I would love to hear from you. Did you try the test?
How many seconds did it take you? Were you able to do it without hands?
Share your results below. It helps others to know they are not alone.
If you found this video helpful, please leave a comment with 1.
If not, type 0. I value your honest feedback.
And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.
Dedicated to protecting your brain, your heart, and your future.
Thank you for watching, and take care of yourself.